Okay guys, boy have we got a big mess here today. We have a galvanized bucket, and in this bucket I have drilled 2 holes. Yes, I said drilled. You have to be careful when you're doing that. It takes a little bit of pressure and it makes sharp edges on the inside, which I hammered out so that I don't cut my fingers on those edges. So this is not a project for children. It will have some little sharp edges that you don't want their little hands to get onto. So yeah, this is basically going to be a decorative project. We're going to be putting wires through here to hold our handle in place. That's what the holes are for. So I've drilled 2 holes on each side, equally spaced apart. I basically just kind of eyeballed it, and I marked the inside approximately where I wanted to drill the holes, and I tried to get that as close as possible. Then we are going to have, I got the bucket at Dollar Tree, by the way, but they do have these buckets at Hobby Lobby as well. So if they don't have the flower pot size at your Dollar Tree, they have some even prettier ones at Hobby Lobby, so you might even like those better. Okay, also from Dollar Tree, I have this egg garland. It's an Easter garland. We're not going to use this garland. We're just going to use the eggs. I liked the little glittery styrofoam eggs, so this is what I bought. And I'm going to take the eggs off of here and keep the little beads for a later project. And then from Dollar Tree also, we have 2 types of ribbon. I chose sage green and purple. You can choose whatever color you like. I chose contrasting patterns. This is a grosgrain and this is a lace. And then also from Dollar Tree, we have this floral wire that I got, and I cut 6 inches, 2 6-inch pieces from that. And then we have from Hobby Lobby, I bought some grapevine wire. They also have this at Michael's. It comes on a roll like this. And I cut 3 lengths of it, approximately the same size as the same length as my mat this way. And it doesn't have to be exact, just approximate is what you'll need. Okay, and then I ran out of Mod Podge, so I picked these up at Dollar Tree too. I'm gonna mix these together. I couldn't decide if I wanted gloss or matte, so I'm gonna mix them together. I'm gonna do the Libra thing and just mix them together and see what happens. And then you're gonna need some wire cutters for cutting your wire. You're gonna need some little scissors and our trusty sponge brushes. Of course, we have to have those. And then from Kiki sale, I have some mulberry flowers. My friend Debbie runs a Facebook page called Kiki Sale, where she sells craft supplies. She does a sale about once a month, once every couple of months, and she always has some really pretty things. So go check it out. I think she's still taking new members. So check out her channel. These are really pretty, and we're going to be using some of those today. And also from Debbie, I got this pretty leaf garland or ribbon, whatever you want to call it. I got this from Debbie as well, and we're going to be using that. And from Etsy, I bought a bunny rabbit napkin. I think this is super cute. I love bunny rabbits for Easter. And so this is what we're going to use for my project. You can use whatever you want for yours. It doesn't have to be bunny rabbits. If you like chicks, you can use chicks. If you don't want to strictly use your basket for Easter, you can utilize any type of floral napkin. They had some really pretty hummingbirds and butterflies up at Dollar Tree when I was there today. So you could check that out and use those instead. Just whatever you have on hand or whatever you like, you can make this your project. And from Dollar Tree also, I have some Easter grass. This comes in yellow, green, and purple. I've chosen green. And then you're going to need some tissue paper to stuff into the bottom of your basket. This is a lot of stuff, guys, I know, but this is going to be a really cool project. I think you're going to love doing it. It's going to be a lot of fun to make. So you'll also need some white acrylic paint. I'm getting ready to go paint our bucket so that we can begin turning it into a basket. And once I get this painted, then we'll come back and begin our project. We have our bucket. It's all painted and ready to go. I did paint the jute on the bucket as well because I want it to be all white mostly and very shabby chic. And we've got our eggs ready to go. We have our bunnies torn out. We have I'm going to use a little bit of the white backing on the napkin. I'll show you why here in just a minute, because I just want that shabby chic look. We have our sponge brushes, our Mod Podge, and I'm going to use an egg tray to lay our eggs in whenever I get done decoupaging those. And I took a floral napkin and I tore out, I took some images from a floral napkin that I had on hand because I thought it would be nice to have something different than bunnies to put on the eggs, but that would still go, so you could try that as well. Alright, so let's get to it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to Mod Podge the plain napkin on here first, just to kind of give it an undercoat, and I'm not going to be neat about it. I'm really just going to put it on there to where it is a little bit wrinkly, because that's going to add to the shabby chic look to this project here. So I'm just going to put this around, all the way around, and then I'm going to lay this white napkin down and just here and there. Just kind of lay it on there and not really worry about the wrinkles too much. That's going to give it a little bit of a rough textured look, which is what I want. I would like a textured look for this. And I'm a little short on napkin, but that's okay because I have more over here. And we'll just tear. Always good to have a damp rag with you so that you can get the Mod Podge off. If you get it on you, so that you're not sticking to everything. I like to tear my napkins. I don't like leaving a hard edge on anything, so I tear them out. I know everybody's different when it comes to decoupage. There's really no, to me, there's no right or wrong way to do it. You just do it the way you want it done. And that's what you need to do. Watch out for your little holes. Don't cover those up because we're still going to need to be able to poke wire through there. And just tear this off around the rim. And don't worry if this is a little bit dry, you know, when you get it on here, because we're going to put a top coat on and it'll help to seal that down. And also any little bits hanging over, those will go away as well. We can just kind of tear them off. And I'm just going to pat it on there. See if I can get it down good before I put that top coat on. So I do want it to stick as good as possible. Okay, now we're just going to go over it. Again, not worrying about whether or not it's wrinkled. We don't really care if it's wrinkled for this project. In fact, the wrinkles are just going to add to its character. That's what we're after, character. It's a good word. I like that. Okay. We are getting there. You may be wondering why I tore the bunnies out instead of just putting them on whole, you know, like as a whole napkin. Because it's easier, and plus I can place the images where I want them rather than having to stick to the pattern of the napkin. So let's watch our hole there. Where's our hole? Let's uncover our hole. Don't want that covered up. You got to be careful of that. Don't cover your hole. You'll be trying to find something to poke it with so that you can get your wire in there. That piece needs to be stuck down better. And if it tears, like I said, don't worry, because we want this to be shabby chic. So if your napkin tears, oh well, it's okay. See, like that just did. We're just going to pat it down. It's okay if it tore, because it's going to stay on there anyway. That Mod Podge will make it stick. it's a little bubbly here and there, that's okay too. I just want to make sure that I get a good coat of Mod Podge on it. Okay. Now while this is still damp, we're going to start sticking our bunnies down. So I want to get my hands free of glue so that I can pick these guys up. Now our back is where the seam was. So who do we want front and center? I like this little guy. I'm going to put him right there. I use saran wrap too sometimes to keep, you know, because your fingers get sticky and it'll tear your image. I don't want my image to tear, so I'm going to use saran wrap for the rabbits. It's okay if they're wrinkly. They're going to be wrinkly because the under part is wrinkly. Okay, and who's next? Let's put this one in the back, right here. We're just going to tamp him down a little bit. We'll put some Mod Podge on him in a minute. Right now we're just going to get him stuck. Okay, and then we'll go around here. That one's facing this way, so I want one trying to go kind of opposite. We'll go this way with this bunny. These are so cute. I love the little bunnies. And this one will be really cute right here, I think. We'll put him about right there. Okay, now I think I like that better. It looks full and busy, but not too crazy. It's really cute, I think. So, all right, now we're gonna put our final coat of Mod Podge over the top. Let's get a little bit more of that out so that we don't run out of it while we're in the middle of doing our project. Plus we're gonna have to do these eggs, so while that sits. I'm gonna use the little brush here, and I'm just gonna gently go over the bunny rabbits and the flowers. They're already kind of stuck down, so you don't really need to do much. Just very gently go over everything with the Mod Podge. If it does lift up a little bit, don't worry. We're going for Shabby Chic, so it'll just add to the character of the project, as we talked about a few minutes ago. If something pulls up, it's okay. And we didn't cover up our holes. That's good. See how that one pulled up a little bit? That's okay. We're just going to smooth it back down with our little brush. Our little sponge brush. Make sure you go over all of your little images that you put on here. We want them all to have a good coat of Mod Podge. Okay. Guess what's on TV, y'all? Fatal Attraction. I haven't seen that movie in forever. Every Guy's Nightmare. Yep. Still a good movie though. I didn't like it when she cooked the rabbit on the stove, because You know, I like bunnies. It's kind of ironic that we're doing a project with bunny rabbits on, and that's what's on television. I didn't think about that until just now. That's hilarious, kind of. Oh, the irony of some situations. That's okay. These are happy rabbits. And that's what we're doing today. Happy bunnies. If y'all haven't seen that movie, I don't know who hasn't seen that movie, but in case you haven't seen it, it's a good movie, but it's kind of creepy. And Glenn Close boils a pet rabbit, on the stove. That happens in the movie. I told y'all this video wasn't for kids. Okay, so I think I might have gotten out of frame there. If I did, we're just going over all of the images with the Mod Podge. This will dry clear. It's a little cloudy right now because it's on kind of thick, but it will dry clear. And when it does, these bunnies will be all sealed and beautiful. And they won't be going anywhere. Okay, so we're going to set this aside and let it start drying. And then, let's see. Let's put it over here. We're going to start doing our eggs now. And I've got some little images torn out for them. And we need more Mod Podge. Yes, we do. Okay, so we've got more Mod Podge. And now we're just going to put our image on our egg. And it doesn't matter if these are wrinkled because we're going for Shabby Chic. So I'm just going to lay some of that on there. Put our little floral image on. Smooth it out with our saran wrap. Oh, that's going to be so pretty, y'all. So pretty, pretty. Oopsie. That one tore a bit. That's okay. I'll get it off. And no one will know. Okay. They'll never know. Lightly go over it. Our image is wet now, so it'll tear more easy. So just very lightly go over your image. You don't have to go over the whole egg. You just need to seal the image down. So we're not going to be going over the whole egg. And now we're just going to place it in our little egg tray to dry. Okay. Next, let's get our pink egg. Like I said, I like to use opposite color, so I don't really want to put a pink flower on the pink egg. I just did that, but it had a little bit of blue in it, but we're going to put this blue on this pink egg. A little bit more contrast. It'll help it stand out more. So we're just going to brush this on. Put our image down. Smooth it on with our saran wrap. Just very lightly, ladies, very lightly. Gentlemen, if there's any gentlemen crafters out there, I should say ladies and gentlemen. I actually know some guys that like to do crafty things. There's not very many of them, but there are some that are very crafty. I really wish I could do more woodworking and metalworking and stuff like that. I've always admired people that can solder and do things like that. I've just never learned it. Could be something I could potentially do, I guess. I'm a firm believer that if you don't know how to do something, there's somebody somewhere that has done it and it's on YouTube. That's my opinion. Somebody somewhere has done it and knows how to do it, and all you have to do is look it up. No matter what it is. I have learned to switch out my closet doors and everything. Not just the ones that are on the hinges, but the ones that fold. Yep, I learned how to fix those watching YouTube. It's amazing what you can learn on YouTube. It's kind of cool. Okay, so here's our next egg. These are going along real quick, so yay. Quick is good. We like quick. Y'all, this Easter basket's gonna be gorgeous. Can't wait till we get it all done. You could use this as a centerpiece for your Easter table. Be really pretty. Okay. So I see a little spot that's kind of still sticking up, so we're going to tamp that down. And there's a little wrinkle. I'll try to smooth it out. Like I said, I don't really care if it's wrinkled, so I'm not going to worry about that too much. I just don't want anything sticking up. Okay, there's that one. This is just a cheap plastic egg tray, y'all. So it's not like if I get Mod Podge on it, I'm running something that's really classy or anything. I didn't buy it with the intent of using it for crafting, but I thought it would be kind of a cool thing to have just in case you had to bring deviled eggs somewhere, and now here I am using it for crafting. Seems like everything always winds up in here somehow. I don't know how that happens, but it always does. I bet the same thing happens at your house. I was married before. I know a lot of you guys are, and you have husbands that gripe about how much crafting materials you bring home. Mine was complaining about, actually he wasn't my husband yet, he was my fiance, but he was complaining about how many shoes I brought home. So I got out the Harbor Freight Tool sales flyer, and I asked him, you point out one thing in this flyer that you do not have down there in that basement. And if you can, I'll take my shoes back. He couldn't do it, so I got to keep my shoes. Just a little tip for you ladies that have husbands that gripe about all your crafting supplies. There's always a workaround. Of course, you might not want to listen to me. I've been divorced 3 times, so it might not be good advice. Oh, the things we talk about in here while we are crafting. But hey, life is life. Can't deny it. It happened. It's real. So there you go. All right, that egg is coated down. We're going to put our little peony on here. I think that's what that is. A peony. Peony. How are you supposed to say that? I don't know. I've heard it said both ways. I think if you're from up north, that's a peony, and if you're from down south, that's a peony. And I don't know what happens if you're back east or out west. I don't know what y'all say. Okay, so this one is done. Let's stick it right there. Keep getting stuff on me. Last egg. This is a big piece of napkin here, so we're gonna need, I'm gonna try not to have to get any more Mod Podge out, y'all. But I've used up quite a bit of it. I think it's because these eggs are styrofoam. It might be kind of sinking into the styrofoam a little bit, maybe. Maybe. Okay. There we go. A that's pretty, y'all. I do like these little eggs. I was looking at the plastic ones, you know, but the plastic ones had little holes in them, and I didn't like the holes. So I'm like, well, why do they have to have holes in them? I don't know if that was just the way they're made, or I'm not really sure, but they all have little holes in the end, and I'm like, why do they have holes in them? I don't remember the ones when I was little having holes in them. I am going to have to get out just a tad more Mod Podge. Oop, and he turned upside down. Don't stick to my wax paper. You tried to, didn't you? Didn't you? Okay. Y'all talk to your craft projects? I do. I talk to them. I coax them into submission. I think you have to sometimes, because sometimes they just get really uncooperative. These, so far, thankfully, have been pretty slick. Okay. Our egg is done. Our last egg is done. Now all we have to do is wait for everything to dry. And when it does, we'll come back. Might take a little while for that because we got it kind of thick. So we'll let it dry and then we'll come back to finish up. Okay guys, after these eggs dried, I decided I want to dress them up a little bit. So we are going to be using triple thick, and then we're also going to be using this stuff that I found called Spectra Glitter. I think I got this on Amazon. It looks kind of like German glitter glass, but it's not. It's plastic. So I got kind of tired of, no matter how hard I tamped down my German glitter glass, I still got little slivers that poked me, or I spilled it on the floor and wound up getting shards of it in my bare feet because I like to go around barefooted. So I decided to buy this and I really like it. So we're just going to add some bling to our little eggs real quick. Alright, so I'm just going to dump some of this out in the middle here. This little egg tray has worked out really well for this project. I like it. I'm a genius. Don't we all wish? Okay, we're gonna squirt some of this stuff out here. Don't need that much. And we're gonna use just a little brush for this. We're gonna just go over our little design. We're not gonna put it on the whole egg. We're just gonna jazz up the front and the top a little bit. We don't want to do the whole egg because we don't want them to stick together. And I'm just gonna do this and tap it off. And it's cute. And when that dries, it's gonna dry clear and it's just gonna be sparkly. Let's grab this sides. I'm not over the top of y'all. And we're just going to continue on. Maybe we'll do this so it doesn't get so much everywhere. Yep, that works even better. See what that does? This makes it a little sparkly. And it's not sharp, so you can touch it anywhere. Once this dries, it's not going to come off anywhere. But it is going to add just a little bit of jazz to your eggs. And who doesn't need a little more jazz? I could use some this morning. I didn't have my coffee yet. And you can tell from my narrations that these projects usually take me a couple of days to complete because I generally start them late at night and then wind up finishing them the next day. And I do that specifically so that I have time to let things dry. And then I've got the rest of the day to complete my project and my video. There's that one. Super cute. That's my little plan anyway. I don't know how that's going to work out long term, but that's typically what I do. So good morning, everybody. I hope you have had your coffee. Of course, you know, it could be evening or lunchtime when you're viewing this video, for all I know. YouTube is such a funny thing. It's just endless. It's timeless. There's no time limits on YouTube. Anybody could be watching at any time, and that just kind of freaks me out a little bit if I think about it too long. There's people moving all over the planet, even when I'm sleeping. Okay, here we go. All right, now we are going to need a little bit more of this, I think, so let's get some. Get some. These eggs are so pretty. I think choosing the styrofoam eggs has worked out really well. I don't think I would have liked the plastic nearly as well. I probably would have wanted to paint them or cover them up, and that's just too much work. This project already has enough things going on in it to where we don't need to worry about painting eggs also. So cute. Okay. Now, you can paint the eggs if you want to, though. You can do anything you want to. That's what's cool about these kinds of crafty projects. We can do whatever we want to them. I even started out crocheting some little eggs to put in here, but I figured out really fast that was going to be time consuming. If I was retired, I could get away with doing that, but I'm not retired. I have a full-time job and sometimes a part-time job on top of doing YouTube videos, so I just didn't have time to crochet up a bunch of eggs. But that would be cute if you wanted to do that. And it's really easy. You just start out with a magic circle and then you like increase. You do a magic circle, and then you do 6 single crochet, and then you do another 6 single crochet, and then you increase 4, around. If you crochet, you'll know what I'm talking about. And then you just keep doing that every other row until it gets as wide as you want it, about egg shape, about the width of an egg. And then you just do several neutral rounds, and then you start decreasing and you stuff your egg before you close it up. And that works really well. Okay, our eggs are glitterified, and we will take a break, let these dry. I'm going to set up for the next step, and we'll come back. Okay guys, welcome back. Before we begin, I want to talk to you about these little guys here. These are little craft clamps that you can get at Dollar Tree. They come 6 a pack, and I just want to tell you, whoever created these is a genius, because these are so handy. And we're in fact going to be using these today. So I highly recommend picking these up. If you're a crafter of any kind, you will find a use for these, I promise you. Okay, next we have our ribbon, which I have measured around the top of our bucket. I've pre-measured that to save time for us today. Each one I've measured around. And so we are going to be putting that on our bucket starting right now. And we're going to find the back, which is here where our little seam is. And we're going to be using E6000 and hot glue for this. So we're just going to put some of this. Place the cap on that. I have overlapped this a little bit, so now here is where our clamp comes in handy. We're just going to stick it there to hold that in place while we work with it. Okay. And we're just going to around our E6000. I know you're probably like, how is she doing that with her left hand? I am ambidextrous to a certain degree. I can do things with both my right and my left hand. Not everybody can, but I find it super handy that I'm able to do that. Except for the fact that my glue gun is on the right hand, so I'm going to turn this around and use my right hand anyway. Because I think that'll just be easier if I work from this direction. There's a little knot in the jute right there, so we're just going to stick that down. We're periodically going to tamp this down with our hot glue anyway. And we're just going to quickly work around, tack this down. Next, we are going to apply our lace. That's all centered. Looks pretty. And once that dries, you won't be able to see it. We're going to put something over the top of it anyway. Guess what? Something else is going over that. Yes. Okay, so now we will put that on here. We're going to use our vine, our little leaf ribbon here. That's what we're going to do. Now, if you don't have this or can't find it or whatever, because I don't know if Debbie can get any more of this, but you can use any type of ribbon you want. You don't have to even put this on here if you don't want to. I just thought it would be cute because of the pattern on the napkin. So if you can find something like this or just any kind of unusual ribbon, you could put rhinestone around this. You could put a rhinestone chain around this. That would be also really pretty. Just whatever you want to use. This can be your project. So make it your own. And isn't that cute? That is just the cutest. We'll pull these little great glue strings off of here if we see any. Once it gets dry, right now it's just going to pull our project loose. So we'll wait till that gets dry. This is the back. There's our little holes that we didn't cover up. This is the front. Here's our little holes. And you can see this is turning out to be really, really cute. I did paint the bottom of it too. Just brushed it on there. And I like that the bucket is kind of showing through in certain places. It just adds to the shabby chic kind of farmhouse look to this thing, and I love it. Okay, so next we're going to turn our attention to our handle. So we're going to set this aside and let that dry for a little while. And I'm going to put away the E6000. And I'm going to set this aside. And we're going to pull this out here. Okay, so I've cut some ribbon for this as well, about the same length as my mat, or thereabouts. We're going to be tying some bows with this. I think one of these is a little shorter, but that's okay. It'll work still. We're going to trim this up to the size that we want it to be anyway. So we'll set that aside for now and turn our attention to our grapevine here. You can see from this that this wire is poking out here, and I do not want that because I don't want to stab myself on it. So I'm just going to trim that off with good old wire cutters. And I am going to just kind of put a dab of hot glue there. I need a new glue stick. Put a dab of hot glue around where the bottom of that wire is, and I'm going to glue this to that wire so that I don't have to worry about that happening. I'm going to do that to each one of these real quick. I just wanted to show y'all what I meant. I thought I would be able to describe that, but then I thought, well, maybe they won't know what I'm talking about. So I'm just going to kind of show you what I'm doing. I'm cutting this wire, which is hard to do. It's not that easy to cut that. I'm putting a dab of glue here, and I'm twisting this around on top of it so that that covers our wire, and it will not poke us later on in life, because that might do that. Now this wire is pretty much covered up, so I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to put a dab of glue on the end of it so it doesn't fray out and unravel like that. And I'm going to do that to each end here. Wherever I see wire poking out, I'm going to do that. I'm just going to peel it back. Cut this. And tap that down. Twist it in place. Okay, the wire's not poking through there, so I'm just going to tamp this down with a little glue. Just to kind of keep it from doing that in the first place. Same thing with this one. Get in there. There we go, talking to my craft projects. Again, I do that all the time. And my tools and instruments and everything else. Okay, this glue is super annoying. It is all over my fingers. Okay, moving right along. Now that we've got that done, we can move our glue gun aside and get this mat brushed off and get this stuff out of the way here, so it's not in the way. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to try to even these up a little bit, make sure they're all in the same length there, okay? And you don't even really have to twist this up very much. You're just going to twist it a little. Twist it a little bit. Okay, just like that. All right, now we're going to bend this up slightly. About right here. And this is, I'll bend it just a hair more. Think about like that. On either side. Okay. And we're going to get our bucket, locate our holes, and kind of measure. And I think that's going to be about right. Okay, so now what we're going to do, I'm going to pull this down. I think I want that just a little bit longer, maybe. Put it down. Shorten that just a little. Okay, and now we're just going to kind of clamp this on both sides to keep it in place. I love these clamps. This will keep this from moving while we work with it. That one just a hair higher there. Okay, and now I'm going to take a piece of grosgrain and a piece of my purple, and we're going to tie a bow around this. Doesn't have to be perfect. It's all shabby chic. So if it's imperfect, that's perfect. Okay. Alrighty. Just a simple little bow. That's all we're going to do. And pull it just a little more. Working with grosgrain is not the easiest thing to do, but I thought it was pretty and I wanted to use it. Okay, now that's cute. So we're just going to I'm going to put a little dab of glue in here just to kind of hold everything. Make sure it doesn't come undone later on. I can't see what I'm doing. It's right there. Just so it doesn't show. I'm just putting a little dab in there. Okay, and now we're going to trim this on the diagonal. That's especially important for the grosgrain. Trim it diagonally or put a little V in it. That'll help to keep it from fraying out on you. Do the same thing to this side here. And if we want to trim more off, we can. So, you know, just don't get it too short. We want it to stick out a little bit and be cute. Okay, so that's one side. And now we're going to do our other side. The same exact way. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to let our ribbon get dry, and then we'll be back to finish up, okay? Okay guys, so we've got our bucket, we've got our handle, and we've got our wire, and we're going to attach the handle to the bucket. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on this side, and I'm going to poke one end of this wire through here, and then I'm going to poke the other end of the wire through the other little hole, and then I'm going to slip our handle through on one side, and then we're going to just push that down. I have to probably work it with it from the inside of the bucket a little bit to get it to be tight, because you want it to be tight. So we're just going to pull it to the inside. And we're going to twist that down. And I'm going to trim the ends just a little bit. I don't want that sticking out, so I'm just going to push it down like that. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing to this side. Bend it a little bit. We're going to stick this side in here. And bend it a little more, and we're going to stick this side in here. And we're going to stick our little handle through here. We're going to push that wire on through. And we're going to pull it tight. And then we're going to secure it. Tight as you can get it. Okay. Trim the ends. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing because I've got it at the wrong angle. Trim the ends. wire's hard to cut. Okay, and push it down. All right, and looky here, we have our cute little handles all attached, and if that's not adorable, I don't know what is. And next we are going to secure some flowers to our project. We're just going to place them just to kind of hide the little wire and to decorate it a little bit. So we'll put one on either side of, I am going to use a little E6000 with it too. I like to use a mixture of that. So I'm just going to kind of move my bow out of the way. I'm going to put some E6000 here. I'm going to put some hot glue there. I'll stick this down and hold it. Just until it sets. Okay. Same thing over here. E6000. Hot glue. Stick it down and hold it till it sets. Okay. And we'll put one up there too. E6000. Hot glue. Stick it down and hold it. There. Now isn't that cute? That is so cute. That is so cute. And we're going to do the same thing to the other side. You can put these on in any way you want. I just kind of do them random like. Let's do hot glue. Get a ribbon out of there, free that up. So cute. E6000. I know I'm not putting the cat back on my glue. It's running everywhere, isn't it? It sure is. Let's see, I'm going to put this one here. To hold it in place until it dries. And we've got one more up here. And I'm going to put the cat back on my glue now because it's going everywhere. Little dab will do ya. Stick this down. Hold it in place. You might have to hold that one a little longer because you're sticking it to that jute. And I think it takes, or this grapevine wire, and I think it takes it a minute for it to set when you're trying to stick it to something like that. We've got glue everywhere. I'll clean my mat up in a little bit, but I think I'm going to put a little piece of wax paper over that area for that glue drip so that I don't get it everywhere over my product. And we'll just clean that up later. Look at cute? Oh my gosh, what do y'all think? Is that just not the cutest thing ever? I love it. Look at that. This has turned out so super cute. I know this is a long video, but you know, there's a lot of elements to this project and I haven't figured out how to speed up my videos yet. So bear with me. I will eventually figure that out. But for now, it's kind of hard to tell you how to do things in detail without it taking a little while. But what do you think? It's worth it, right? I mean, isn't this cute? Okay, now we're going to stuff the basket and we'll be all done. So inside, I'm going to put a wadded up piece of, sorry for the noise, we're going to put a wadded up piece of tissue paper in there. And I'm going to put another piece up here. I am going to leave some of it poking out a little bit in the back there. And you might want to turn your volume down if you don't like bag rattling, because this is fixing to rattle quite loudly because we're going to get the Easter grass out next. Okay, and then we're going to get some Easter grass. And what a mess this is going to make. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Just going to stick that in there. And this just gets everywhere. Everywhere. But that's kind of the charm of it, I guess. All right. And now we are going to nestle our eggs in there one by one. We're going to nestle our beautiful eggs inside our beautiful basket. Oh my gosh, that is so cute! What do you think? It's going to be kind of hard to show you without spilling the eggs out everywhere, but I mean, look. Our sparkly little eggs. I'm going to take a picture of this facing forward so you guys can see what it looks like really good. And so stay tuned till the end. You'll see what it looks like. I'm also going to post a picture of it in the beginning too, just to kind of show y'all what it is going to be that we're making. So anyways, yeah, this turned out great. I love it. Great little project. I hope you guys have enjoyed it as well. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe if you liked this video. We will be doing some more like it. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Bye-bye.